styles, or how to save days of work over a lifetime. And styles are one of my favorite things in Google Docs. I use them all the time and I really, really like them a lot. One of the things I do like about them is how simplistic and easy they are to use. They're just easy to access. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through how to use styles and some of the features of styles. And what is my hope here is that after you show this to your students, they can actually save quite a bit of time in their life, because these things really can save time. So let's take a look at styles. I've created a Google Doc here, and I've got some grade 4 science stuff, kind of like an outline here. I've got light and habitat and sound, and then under that I've got some more information here. And so this is kind of going to be an outline for us. So the first thing we're going to do is let's take a look at the styles section, the styles tab. And as I click up here, you'll see that this little section here, which is styles, says normal text. And wherever I click, it says normal text. And that's because where I'm clicking is just normal text. That's the style. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to highlight this entire section here. And I'm going to make that a title because it's at the very top. So I'm going to pull down, once that's highlighted, pull down normal text. And I can actually be anywhere in here. I can be anywhere on the line. I don't have to have the entire thing highlighted. Anywhere in the line, pull down normal text, and I'm going to choose title. And when I choose title, it makes that into a title. Now, some people don't like the way this title looks. That's no problem. We can change that at a later time. But that's my title. Then down here, I've got light, habitat, and sound. So light, I can be anywhere in that line, go up to normal text, and then choose heading 1. So heading 1, and that becomes a heading 1. And you'll see when I move off of here, it says normal text. When I move back on, it says heading 1. And when I click up here, it says title. So it shows what the style is currently set at. I'm going to click in habitat, again, anywhere in the line, click up here and say heading 1. And do the same thing for sound. Click in sound, anywhere in that line, and then heading 1. So there are 3 heading 1s. Now these guys are actually one level lower, so they're actually heading 2. So I'm just going to select them all. And I could just click anywhere in the line to do them individually, but I'm going to select them all, go up here, and say heading 2. Notice they get smaller as we go down heading 3, and then if you use a heading 3, then a heading 4 appears, and heading 5, and so on. So I'm going to call these heading 2. There we go. So I've got heading 2. I'm going to do the same thing here. Click heading 2. And over here, the same thing again. Click and heading 2. Awesome. So now I have 3 main heading 1s and then a bunch of heading 2s underneath those. And so what we've created here is an organizer. And without doing any extra work, I can go into Tools and click on Document Outline. And here's my document outline, just like that. It's available now. So when I click here on on the title, grade 4 science, it moves me to there. When I want to click on what is sound, it will move me to there. And this will navigate through your entire document, which is really, really cool. So if you're creating notes for your students and you want to share them, if you create your notes this way, a student can easily just turn on, by going into Tools, turning on their document outline, and they can navigate through your document no matter how big it is. Awesome. The next thing that this allows us to do is, if we have, let's say I'm going to put this on another page. I'm going to put each one of these on a different page. So now I've got 3 pages of stuff. I can go into Tools and click on Document Outline, and I can zip through this fairly easily. But what I can also do, if I have a really big document that I want to print off, so imagine you've got a document, maybe it's a student handbook that's 20 pages long, and you want to print it off. It's nice to have a table of contents. So if I just go into Insert, Table of Contents, I have 2 options here. I can do with page numbers, or I can do with blue links. I'm going to use page numbers, and it automatically generates my pages. So habitat there, page 2, sound, page 3. Now if, for example, I'm going to bump this down here, and I'm going to make this another page, and I'm going to pop this to another page. So I'm just hitting Control Enter here, holding down the Control key and hitting Enter, which just pops it to a second page. So if I want to see this now, you can see I've just added some extra pages in there, just so that I can do this. Just so you can see this, I'm now going to click in here anywhere inside my table of contents, and then click over here on Update Table of Contents, that little arrow there, kind of refresh button, and just like that, it updates my table of contents to be exactly what the actual pages are, just like that. So if you want to print out something, very, very quick table of contents, really, really simple, easy to use. I'm going to get rid of this now because what we're going to do next is not going to require printing. And I'm just going to backspace here and bring up my categories, my headings, I guess in this case. And there we go. So now I've got, again, back to my navigation, I've got light, habitat, and I'll just bring this guy up as well. So I've got, I've got sound here as well. All there. I'm just going to zoom out here a little bit just so we can see a little bit better. Yeah, maybe a little bit smaller yet. All right. So now you may be like me and you've created these really long documents before where you've got multiple headings on multiple pages. Maybe it's 10, 15 pages long. And after creating this wonderful document, you put some headings in there and then you modify your headings. You might say, you know what, I want my heading to be a little different font. So this is my heading 1. I highlight the whole thing. I go up here and I say, I want this to be Alpha Slab 1. And let's say I want it to be a slightly different color. I'm going to go with, let's go with that color there. So maybe you've done this before where you've changed your headings and you go through your entire document and you get to the bottom and you go, yeah, I don't really like that. That's not the exact heading style I like. I want a different font. And then you go back and you change it again and you change it again. Well, if you've done your document using this structure where you actually have your headings laid out, where you know that this is a heading 2 and this is a heading 1, then all you have to do is go anywhere inside that line, click up here in your styles, and instead of clicking on heading 1, click on the arrow next to heading 1. Click on that guy, and instead of apply heading, choose update heading 1 to match. As soon as I click on that, it's going to change all of my heading 1s through the entire document. And I can do that again. If I don't like that, you know what? I want to go with Anton, click in heading 1, update heading 1 to match, and it just changes it automatically. And I can do that for the other ones. What if I go in here and I say heading 2, I actually want that guy. I'm going to select this here. So just select this entire thing and I'm going to modify this. In this case, I'm going to make it blue. Now, by the way, I'm not recommending these as good choices for fonts. Obviously, this is kind of all over the place for fonts. So please accept that I'm not trying to make good font choices here. I'm just trying to use this as an example. Let's go with a little darker green there so we can see it. All right, great, green. Now I just go up to heading 2, click on there, the arrow to the right, update heading 2 to match, and just like that, all of my heading 2s match. And in fact, if I want, I can even say, you know what, I want to indent this. I'm going to hit the tab button so it's a little indented, go up here, click there, update heading 2 to match, and it'll update all my heading 2s to a nice indent. And now I notice that this isn't quite right, so I can say, you know what, I need this to be just a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to highlight this and make this 12-point font and heading 2, update heading 2 to match, and it all matches. So a really, really fast way to update your headings after the fact, after they've been created. That combined with the tool of being able to show your document outline, which can be really useful for students. I can now navigate from page to page wherever those navigation structures are just by clicking. That's a couple of really, really quick ways that you can use headings and styles in general. So there you go. Hopefully that will save you a little bit of time. Hopefully you find that useful. And please tell your students about this because it can save them over their lifetime. It can save them a lot of time.